All right, I'm gonna just make sure that Jason doesn't run away with Michael.
First, why don't you and I have a little chat? It's women like you who give women, in general, a bad name. You question Jason's legal right to Michael, and let me lay this out for you. Actually, listen very closely, and you will hear the part about how you end up back at Ferncliff.
You've got my attention.
Good. Guess who perjured herself and defrauded the Quartermains by putting Jason's name on Michael's birth certificate?
It's funny, but the Quartermains have managed to get past that.
The Quartermains don't manage to get past anything. They just tuck them away until they're ready to use them.
Meaning what?
Meaning you are way out of your league, Miss Benson. First, you named Jason as the father of your baby on a legally binding document. Then you skip town, abandoning your own son who has just survived traumatic surgery and is still recovering in the neonatal ICU.
It's a little something called postpartum depression.
It's a little something called you've been doing this your whole life. You've got a lot of nerve capitalizing on real PPD sufferers. You want to watch your reputation go from gutter to sewer? Then you let AJ and you let Edward take this to court, and you watch me. You watch me put 24 real PPD mothers on the stand.
You're not a mother. So
Shut up!
You know?
I'm not through with you. I digress. Deadbeat fathers. Like a deadbeat father. You show up, you drop back in your own son's life for his christening. Meanwhile, you didn't bother to pick up that phone once. Not once prior to that. It took Jason 2 weeks before he trusted you to take your own son out by yourself.
That's a lie.
It's the truth, my dear. And when you did, you left him unattended so that he could be snatched by a man whose grudge, by the way, can be traced back to you ruining his life with your pathological lies.
Is this something personal? I mean, do you have something personal against me?
You are an insult to women. You are a mother devoid of any giving instincts. You are a gold-digging psychotic. The only decent thing that you have ever done for that little boy, you are now trying to undo. And with the reckless abandon of the gang that couldn't shoot straight. And why? Because you found a richer cash cow. My God.
Yeah, that's it.
Your own child's happiness be damned. Shame on you. You've chosen this path, Miss Benson. Should you choose to stay on it, by the time I'm finished with you, not only will your son not have to depend on you anymore, he won't even have to see you. Is this personal to me? You bet it is, little girl. Personally, I want you put back where you belong. In the mental ward at Ferncliff.
Sam, how's Jason? We have no idea. You proud of yourself? Or anything Jason and I told you about barging in on us, about respecting the fact that he actually has a life of his own.
You asked me to be selective, and I was.
No, we asked you to act like an adult. And I did. We were in the middle of a really important dinner and you didn't seem to notice.
I'm sorry, I thought the welfare of my daughter seemed a little more important than bok choy and beer.
Maybe it was about a little bit more than that, Carly. Maybe it was because Jason and I were celebrating something that had absolutely nothing to do with you. We asked you to respect our relationship.
My daughter could be missing, okay? That's really important, Sam.
Really, have you seen Jax?
No.
No. Has he called you or threatened you in any way?
No.
How do you even know that he's back?
You know what? I don't have to explain anything to you, and I didn't have to explain to Jason because he believes me.
But why do you have to call Jason? Can't you call somebody else? Wait a minute, sorry, no, you can't do that because that would take consideration and you don't have that. You barge in whenever you feel like it.
I didn't force Jason to leave with me.
He can't say no to you, Carly.
You can't stand that.
Oh, no. This had nothing to do with him choosing you over me. You used Jake to get him to go with you. You had the gall to guilt him about his dead son.
No.
To get him to go with you.
Jason loves Jocelyn.
What about the boundaries we set, Carly? As adults.
Boundaries? My daughter could be missing. I think that trumps your boundaries, Sam.
Do you have any idea what it did to Jason to think that there's a possibility that a child could have been kidnapped right after losing Jake? Are you even sure that Jocelyn isn't at home, sound asleep in bed right now? Did you even go home before you went crying to Jason? Like you went crying to Sonny because you were afraid to lose that custody suit. Look what that did. Look at what you're doing now.
I didn't go to Sonny, and I cannot be held responsible for what he does.
Oh, no, of course not. Carly could never be held responsible. You use other people's pain to get what you want. You've been doing it for years. And now Jason is hurt again.
You're blaming me for this?
You are damn right I'm blaming you.
Sam, I didn't cause the accident, and I pray with everything I have that Jason's gonna be okay. But Jocelyn could be missing right now.
Could be. Might be. Why don't you admit that this little crisis of yours was your way to stake some sort of a claim into Jason because you feel like you're losing ground with him? This isn't about you, Carly. You always think it's about you.
I don't
No
expect you
exceptions.
to understand. You have no idea what it's like to lose a kid. So much for acting like an adult, huh? My wrist may be broken, but if you hit me again, I will rip you apart.
Do you even get that this has nothing to do with you or your kids? That Jason could be seriously injured right
I
now?
know more about Jason being injured than you will ever understand.
Excuse me, but that dubious honor falls to me. You want to compare losses?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the hell you are. You've been using Jason since the moment you laid eyes on him before you even knew his name. You've expected him to take care of you and your children, no matter what it cost him, and you never, ever give anything back, Carly. You don't even say thank you. You just take and keep taking.
I love Jason.
Well, your kind of love costs
you know
way
what?
too much.
Don't you underestimate what Jason means to me, or what I mean to him. Let me tell you something. I've been in his life a hell of a lot longer than you have, and I'm not going anywhere, no matter how much you want me to.
Yeah, well, I hope loving you hasn't cost him his life.